What's up, guys? Today we have a clip of Young Bob, a Christian crusader, debating a pro-abortion activist and completely destroying her.
Your physique as a man.
Do you want to hold to the mic? And then...
If I say to you that your physique as a man, say a really muscly man, right?
Yes.
Does that mean that he is integrally somebody who likes carrying heavy stuff for people?
Well, I wouldn't say like.
Just because a woman has a vagina and has boobs, does that mean that she's internally a motherly figure, or is it just that she has the facets to actually do it?
Yeah, those facets, right? Those biological features then inform someone's decisions and roles within
But it doesn't
society.
actually inform your biology of your brain as much as you're
Absolutely
actually trying
it
to
does.
say. As someone who's actually studied neuroscience, what is your qualifications for this?
I have no qualifications whatsoever.
Okay, so lovely. That's the point, isn't it?
Okay,
Like,
but
have an education,
I don't feel like I
do
need
some philosophy, and then
I'm actually
do
probably
it.
younger than you.
Well, that's exactly why you shouldn't be trying to tell people outside of a university they can't have an abortion.
Yes, I should, because we should test whether your credentials actually meet the standard of debating
So
someone
now
on the street.
you're qualified to tell me whether I'm
No!
allowed to have an abortion
Let's
or
have a
not.
discussion. Let's see how this pans out. And let's see who has the burden of evidence to make a more credible claim.
Well, we've already noticed that I have more evidence than you.
No, because I actually
How
agree
old
with
actually
your...
are you?
Pardon? 17.
Yeah, I'm actually leaving it. I don't think it's worth even arguing.
Why is that then?
I think you're just...
Oh, well, I actually think that you're too scared to engage in a discussion because you don't know what you're talking about.
Can I just quickly ask one question?
Yes.
If somebody took, this is actually in a paper about abortion philosophy that I did in uni. If someone took you off the street and they attached you to someone else's liver, right, and
Yep.
you for dialysis, and they
This
said
is the
to you,
violin.
and they
This
said
is the
to
question
you, yeah,
of the
exactly,
violin.
it is.
Yeah.
And they said to you that person will die if you're disconnected from them, but you had no consent in the first place that they're living off your body.
Yeah, I believe that.
Do you think that you'll have the moral responsibility to lie in a hospital bed for 9 months and wait for that person's dialysis to
Yes.
be done?
Because I believe societies, governments.
That gives me a better idea of where you're at.
Okay, great. Now, by the way, don't try to act like you're certified of credentials to speak like you did before, just because everyone's heard this analogy that actually debates abortion. So the question,
Yeah.
it's the violinist.
I was asking you.
It's the violinist question, right? There's a famous violinist that gets in a car accident with you. You wake up and you're attached right next to
Yeah.
him. Now, the thing is, right, governments, we should legislate over this idea that we should protect human life and we should preserve innocent human beings. Now, in this case, you have an innocent human being that if you just simply are there, will survive. I absolutely believe that you have a right to... You have the
Someone
right
else's
to...
body.
Yes.
So, for example, if we generalize the logic, because a lot of things are about generalizing the logic, right? And
Yeah.
if everyone can do something, then it's sustainable. If everyone can't do that, then it's not sustainable. For example, if I said that punching you in the face in a certain situation was okay,
Listen, this analogy doesn't make any sense because we can reverse it. I mean, the baby inside of you did not consent for you to have sex with a man without protection and have a baby. The baby has to pay your sin? No. And even the fact that she said, well, I did not consent. Yes, you did. You had sex with a man without protection, being a whore, and now you want to kill the baby. You're a demon. It's not your body's choice if you have another human being inside of you. And I love women, obviously, but this is the problem with liberal modern-day women. They're allergic to accountability. They want to have sex, they want to be whores, they want to kill the baby. It's always other people's fault. Dude, you're an adult. Take some responsibility for your actions.
I would have to be okay with everyone doing that in that situation.
That's not
or
true.
Society
Oh, yeah, in
would-
that particular
in that
situation,
particular
given all the
situation,
variables
right?
are the same, yes.
So do you think that if I had a liver problem, I would be valid to literally just take someone off the street to maintain
But that's
off of
something
them?
different. So you're acting like... So the violinist dilemma produces a situation where you wake up and that just happens to be the fact, right?
Yeah, but if
That
I'm
it-
saying from the perspective of the violinist.
One second. So the violinist, right? The violinist problem. There's two different situations there. One of them is that you have just woken up and that is a matter of fact, right? You now have to deal within the bounds of that situation. You either detach yourself and he dies, or you remain being detached and he lives. Your situation is just randomly approaching someone without their consent and doing it. Now, the thing is, I operate...
Is that not what rape is?
Yes, that is what rape is, doing
And you
something
said
without
that
their
rape
consent.
abortion's not okay in a rape sense.
Yeah, I don't think rape's okay, but I also don't think that aborting a product of rape is okay as well.
So if I literally got kidnapped if I kidnapped someone off the street and used them for my dialysis, That is me being the rapist.
Well, you've kidnapped someone,
That's
right?
me being, that's essentially me
Well,
being
it's the question of
rapist.
whether the means justify
But
the
that
end.
person
But the
still has
violinist
to be
problem,
attached to me.
the violinist problem suggests that the person has just woken up and it seems to be a matter of fact. Now, in
But
violinist,
I'm refocusing
But-
from the person who's attached to the
but you're
violinist to the
generalizing.
violinist
Your
themselves.
generalized logic is just faulty here because there's
But so
certain.
is yours, so
but
I'm just
there's certain
flipping.
variables here that are inconsistent, which then prone a different outcome. So the first one, for example, where you talk about the violinist paradigm, right? You've just woken up and it's a matter of fact. Now, I believe that person who's just woken up conscious and realised that I have to stay attached to this person, and that person also doesn't know that's happened because the doctors are the one that legislated that procedure. I would say yes, you have to stay attached. Now, in the case of someone who's just been kidnapped. Now, kidnapping is wrong, so it shouldn't happen to begin with, but in that situation, two wrongs don't make a right, you should still be attached to them.
See, this is
Because
where
both of them will be,
is.
the outcome would be that both persons are perfectly healthy and both persons perfectly live. Now, afterwards, yeah, absolutely, we should
But the
charge that
point
person
is,
with
do
kidnapping.
I have to, when I did not consent to something, do I have to give up my health for someone else?
Well, you're not giving up your health.
Do you actually understand what pregnancy actually is?
I mean, in most situations, I mean, severical care is, technologically advanced. There is very much a reduced
There's a high
chance.
survival rate, but there's not a high enjoying pregnancy and having a good time.
I don't
and
care about
being able
quality
to
of life.
recover.
I care about right to life, and I care about a innocent
So you
human
just
life
do
in a
not
woman's
care
womb.
about the quality of anyone's life.
Because if
and
you apply
believe
that-
a fetus
if we
is-
generalise logic
but you
here,
believe-
we should
but
just
you
be able to
believe that
kill
a
people.
fetus is alive from the moment of being a couple of cells.
Yeah, well, it's not dead.
But you believe that there's an actual.
Well, why are you putting it in quote
They
marks?
can,
Is
like,
it dead?
that it can be wronged against.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, the definition of innocence is contextual. You have, I think 7 definitions of the word innocence in the Oxford Dictionary.
But also, does it not integrally require you to actually have a concept of what life is?
No. I can wrong you if you're not conscious. I can kill you in your sleep and you're still an innocent party.
Yeah, but I actually was a person with a life.
I don't care about your
That
past
fetus
conscious.
is a collection of cells that doesn't even
You're
most
composed
of, the
of
time,
cells?
My body, 1/3 of women, 1/3 of pregnancies end in an abortion. Do you know this?
Yes.
That is not based on actual going to get an abortion. Your body naturally aborts the fetus. 1/3 of pregnancies end in miscarriage. That is a body naturally aborting a fetus.
Yo, it's incredible how these people always destroy their own arguments. A fetus comes from Latin and it means small baby, okay? Unborn child. So it's not a clump of cells that magically, after so many weeks, they become a human being. No, from the beginning, from conception, it is a human being. Just because it's smaller doesn't mean it's nothing. These people are so delusional, man.
That's why I'm not God.
And that would mean that you're saying that miscarriages are wrong if you're doing it from the earliest part
Not
of
in a
the
medical setting,
thing.
just
You're
removing
saying
a
that
fetus is wrong.
that was actually a death.
I think
That
you're being
that
extremely
pregnancy.
uncharitable. So if you ask me instead of just
So are you.
assuming, I'm not God. I can't decide what sort of biological
Yeah, he
procedure
really just
happens in
had
the back end. I can't decide whether you have a miscarriage or not. I wish that no one has a miscarriage. If I was God, I would immediately stop
But
miscarriages.
Are you not acknowledging it's literally the same thing as an abortion?
But one is being done in a medical setting, and you've consented for that to happen. You've gone out and had an abortion. The other is I had no say in this, and this has happened. That is why the emotional reaction to someone who has a miscarriage to someone who has an abortion is completely different. If you had a miscarriage and you wanted a child, you'd be upset, right?
If you wanted one.
Yeah.
But if you didn't, you'd be like, fair enough.
But for me, whether you want it or not is irrelevant. But I'm showing you.
whether you want to be a parent, my argument is more about.
Well, you haven't
I
had an
don't-
argument so far.
I
You just keep
think-
posing me
I
questions.
think
And for someone that
no, my
previously
argument-
claimed that you had to be
Okay,
certified, you
give
are
me my
terrible at a
argument
debate.
then. Thank you. Lovely. That's it's great hearing from somebody who does no qualifications nor has any actually knowledge about
Yeah,
women.
it's great. You seem like you're getting scammed out of your qualifications.
If you actually go back to it and you actually think my argument is more that I would mess up a child more by bringing them up as someone who did not want one and definitely does not. I think that having a child in the world and abusing it by not being a good parent is not as
You believe in
damaging
eugenics?
as just having an abortion in the first place.
Okay, so philosophical question.
I'm saying it's a personal choice for me, not for other people. I'm not saying eugenics that I can make decisions about whether someone else is a good
Can I
parent.
ask
I'm
a
saying for
question?
me.
But you're using that line of reasoning is what's currently justified our Marxist society for allowing abortions. And also, I want to say this as well. Would you prefer to exist or not to exist?
Not to exist.
Why?
As humans, generally, I think we cause more damage to the world than.
So you believe that everyone should just not exist at all?
If it was about existence, not pain, yeah.
So this is the thing, right? This is where I fundamentally disagree with you. I would say
I
that
think that you
the
think
quality
life is a
of life,
fundamental good, right?
the quality of life does not dictate the right to life.
Okay, I mean, just give you this. But the
All right,
intrinsic, you think that life is intrinsically good. I fundamentally disagree with that point.
Yo, what a delusional woman. Well, I think people shouldn't exist. Shut up, bro. You're literally, if we follow that argument to its logical conclusion, so we should get rid of you because you have the IQ of a fucking zebra? Obviously not. We're gonna keep you. You know, that's the difference between them and us. We don't want to kill you guys. These people will kill innocent babies rather than suffer a little bit for 9 months. That's insane. But guys, let me know in the comments what you think. If you agree or disagree, leave a like and subscribe if you want to. Christ is King, and God bless you.